Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Dwana Olson here. I just finished my hammer chisel workout today. It was chisel balance, and it was tough. I felt like my balance was all over the place, even though I have been doing it pretty consistently, and for being a fitness coach and working out regularly. I got some news today that is bearing very heavy on my heart, and I wanted to jump on when I am looking like this because this is the real me, and share with you guys some things that I do on a daily basis, but also where I feel in my heart are such powerful ways to help remind people that when you're going through something really hard, these are three tips that I feel are very effective in helping you stay motivated despite feeling depressed, feeling overwhelmed, feeling unworthy, feeling less than. So, the first tip I have is to stop being afraid to share your journey, to share what you're going through, to talk about it. For those of you who don't know, my youngest son passed away the day after he was born. He was born premature, and my grief and depression has been overwhelming and completely debilitating at times. I suffered panic attacks, and over the past 2.5 years, I have never stopped talking about my son. I feel like that has been one of the biggest pieces to helping me move forward and helping me manage my depression. There's so many really, really hard things that people go through in life on a daily basis. Daily basis. None of us are exempt. And the reason that that is so important is to talk about what you're going through is it's twofold. The first reason is because it is physically and mentally exhausting to endure all that in your head, to never speak of what you're going through, to never allow other people in, to keep that to yourself is it will just long term do way more harm than good. So I feel like that's the first reason, talk about what you're going through. The second reason that's so important is think about a time that you have talked to a family member or a workmate or just a personal friend about something that you are going through or something you've gone through, and they respond with, "Oh my gosh, I totally went through the same thing," or "I totally know how you feel because that happened to me." Don't you just feel like a weight has been lifted off of your shoulders? You feel completely less burdened in an instant because that person gave you permission to be human. I feel like that's what that translates to. They've given you permission to be human, and they're like, I understand exactly what you're going through. I've been there. This is how I made it through. Talking about your journey and not suffering in silence, guys, is such a great way for you to connect with other people and also get that healthy healing started. The second tip I have is to be a part of something bigger than yourself. If you, on a daily basis, sit there and convince yourself that you are the only one going through hard times, you are the only one struggling, you're the only one who has a horrible job, you're the only one going through financial difficulties, you're the only one with a family member who's struggling with cancer, whatever it is, you will be miserable. The minute you get outside of your little circle and your bubble and you start to reach out to people who, again, with the example of finding someone who's gone through what you've gone through, you will immediately feel more human, but also you will feel a sense of community and support to be a part of something bigger, whether it's a church group. For me, it's my team of coaches. These are real people who post what they're going through, the hard and the good. They share when they're going through some really tough struggles, how they're enduring it. These are people who have gone through tremendous hardships, and either they've made it through or they are continuing to struggle through their journey, but they're sharing that. Being part of something bigger and having that sense of community, having people who care about you and who support you, that empathy element is so important. And it can't happen if you don't do the first step, right? You got to talk about it. And also, if you are not allowing yourself to be a part of something bigger, you're not sharing your journey, you're holding it in and thinking that you're the only one going through that. Something else to add to that is how amazing social media is in that regard. So for me on Instagram, I have deliberately been searching for women who have suffered the loss of an infant, have are going through depression or grief. I have friended one woman who 3 years ago she lost her baby was born stillborn, And it took her and her husband 2 years to have another one. And watching her journey with her newborn now, so much light, so much light. And it's done amazing things for me and helping me to understand that there is always hope and remind me of all the amazing and good things that I have in my life. So that's just something that is an example of a way that being a part of something bigger and reaching out to other people to see that they've gone through a very similar circumstance or even the exact same circumstance. And even though we all grieve differently, we all push through our struggles differently. It's such a powerful way to remind you that you are not alone. The third tip I have is to just cry, to be okay. Having those days where you just are over it, you sit down with a glass of wine or a pillow and your blanket and you just let it all out. That is not weakness. That's a very humbling thing, to allow your emotions to come out in that way. And you'll be better for it after. You'll feel better after, but you have to allow yourself those days and those moments to express the way you feel and just let it all out. So I hope those tips help. I am very much in the middle of my journey, having a kind of a tough morning because of the news that I heard from my friend, and I am determined to continue to push through every single day in my journey, continue to share what I'm going through so that I can motivate others to remember that they're not alone, and whatever they're going through, it's not permanent. And there is always light at the end of the tunnel. There is always people who will care about you and support you if you take those steps and allow them in. So I'm very much looking forward to at 11 a.m. In about 40 minutes, I have a call with my coach. He's just returned from a leadership event in San Diego, and I'm really looking forward to hearing his light and some stories of positivity to help get me out of my funk today. So the workout didn't do it. Again, I'm overwhelmed with feelings of what my friend is going through and all of the tough things that all of us go through on a regular basis. It's not easy. But the answer is not staying in step 3, right? Staying in your own little bubble, crying about it, but not doing anything about it. The answer is remembering how amazing you are, how much life there is to live, and sharing your journey with others. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope that helps you, and I will talk to you guys soon.